The purpose of this VOD review, in my personal opinion, we should have like a target or like a goal when we're watching VODs. Obviously, you can watch VODs kind of aimlessly, but I think it's much better going into a VOD trying to find out something. I want to talk about how he survives, right? Because obviously we don't have mechanics like Noahreyli does, so we can't recreate every single kill that he does. Although we can talk about like the game sense behind his kills, we could replicate those, but the mechanics behind his kills is kind of hard to replicate. So what I want to really focus on is the surviving part, because I know you yourself and a bunch of other people included in the community are gonna have a lot of problems surviving when they have mats, right? And it's clearly their fault because they could have built. The solution is awareness, right? Understanding where your enemies are. The solution is the game sense, playing on the right side, right and left side, so that you don't have to cover one side, so you save more mats. Playing certain layers correctly, so that you're not a congested layer, right? So you don't have to get targeted by a lot of people. So many different things can contribute to succeeding in endgame in solos. Obviously, he's playing late game tournament. This starts from third circle. We can learn a little bit from there. You'll actually find a lot of fights in Noahreyli's situation. It always revolves around HP disadvantage or advantage, whether he pushes or not pushes, right? That's what you have to understand. So 100 now jumps in, right? See, same thing. Get the side walls, and then now it's going to take this wall. He's trying to predict and go piece that side. But however, the enemy has the floor above as well, so he gets out there, gets in through the exploit, and gets the kill. This is a strat that people do a lot, right? He's low builds, obviously, so he understands that he needs to go for this kill. It's what I call the win condition. If you don't get this kill, like you're probably not going to find the second opportunity. But he understands that he has a pepper on, so he has a really good movement, right? So he can go out to the side like this. The reason why he doesn't, just play safe is because he's 6 builds. Main reason, right? Now he has mats and he's low HP. Why not fight this guy, right? I just said it. Low HP. So he's holding people here because he's in front of them. If you look where his zone's going, he's in the middle of zone, and these guys are backstorm. So he's holding these guys. It's a pretty simple concept. But more importantly, these guys have fought, right? You can tell they fought a little bit. So then it's gonna be easy kills. And then he goes left side because look how dead it is, right? Obviously, there's only 3 alive, but left side is really nice because then you're on one side of the zone, and then you only need to cover off one side. And then he gets ahead like that. He just tarps ahead. 2-mat tarp is really efficient. Every time you can 2-mat tarp, you should do it. Yeah, so like Noahreyli understand this guy, like I call it like priority, right? Noahreyli has priority over this guy. This guy still has a task left to do on his to-do list, which is get ahead. Noahreyli's already ahead, right? He's done that, so now he can just freely shoot and not worry about zone anymore because he's already in. This guy is just so far back, and then he's also like really high up as well. Zone pulls for Noahreyli, so he's just gonna get ahead again. See how he's just staying in front of everyone? Simple task. I know it's so simple, right? Because like everyone knows, like stay ahead, don't fall back too behind, otherwise you're gonna get sprayed by everyone. But like, how many times do we actually do it, right? Like, how many times do we actually do it in game? That's what you should look out for. Simple over peek on height, and then kills him, and then kills him. Get shot in the back. He's gonna try to heal here, but he unfortunately doesn't have heal, so he's gonna go for a counter shot. 96. Tries to play right hand peeks here, and very good. If Noahreyli had heals and good mats, then he would probably elect to go for heals, right? It's a safer option. Understands really good inventory awareness, right? Yeah, he understands he has a flopper, and he understands he also has the time to do it, right? That's like the only play he has because he can't break through that wall fast enough, right? So this is like only option. So he makes a mistake here by going after the kid on the wall while getting pressured, right? And this guy does a really nice reset, which catches him off guard, and then he pops both pops, or he pops one actually, and then gets the siphon. I think, yeah, gets the siphon. Harps ahead. If you're in the front half of zone, you can tunnel without covering your front, but in this case he has to because he needs to cover all the angles that people have on him right now. That's why he's doing that. God awareness to pick up 438 metal, by the way. It's crazy how rewarding awareness can be. Obviously it comes with experience, but it also just comes with like concentrating while you're playing the game, right? Just like pay attention, really be focused, and not just like autopilot. Autopilot ruins awareness a lot. Covering his front again, same concept, right? He's behind. He's lagging behind. This is where it gets bad, right? Because awareness ruins him. He has no clue how many mats he has, right? And then now he's screwed. Because what happens when you have 0 builds? Like you're going for something that you like can't control, right? Because if you have builds and you go for an impact, you have more options. You can full box someone, you can go after a window peek, you can make a wall edit, like you can do other things, right? And you can be in a safe box. But this, he's 20 HP with 0 builds. The game's over already. He hasn't died yet, but the game's over. Like, he had to find the luckiest miracle of all time to bring him back in the game. And it's just probably not going to happen, right? It's just really hard. So then, that's why awareness happens to be one of those skills. It's just really, really important. Really good aim here. 200. To secure that kill. You try to, like, ego peeks him. It's, like, not something that I recommend, but Noahreyli can do it because he's still good. So that's the one thing that, like, when you're watching VOD reviews of people, okay, he's really unaware here. Wow. When you're watching VOD reviews of pros, try not to copy everything, because some things they do just because of their confidence and how good their aim is, right? There's some things that we cannot copy. Good right hand peek there, has the floor. If he edited insta there, he gets the kill. Full box him here. So he could go for the wall right here, right? He could full box, but he's actually so close to the wall. You have to understand this. This is why it's hard to do it. So if you ever pay attention, you'll understand that it's really, really difficult to edit walls when you're hugging them. Okay, so this is why, since he has a stair over his head, it's like in a really awkward position. If he's standing further back, he can actually place the wall and edit and then make a full box. But like, it's actually, you can do the same thing by just running. If you cross this wall before this guy edits and places the wall, you can actually just be in his box and catch him off guard, just like this, right? That's what Noahreyli likes to do. Like, both options are fine, but I think the one option's easier, right? Really good exploit here. Catches him off guard. You can see him healing, so obviously HP advantage right there. That's info, right? If you can see the enemy healing, that's info right there. You don't even have to hit him. You just know you have more HP, right? Popping minis. So like, he wouldn't be popping minis if it's like 140. Maybe you would, but like regardless, 140 versus 200. If you surprise him with the exploit, you'll win as long as you don't miss. That's why aim duels are so important. It goes back to that. Okay, so this is why it's really, really important to practice aim, because it can complement it, give you options like this. Exploit again. The exploit, by the way, if you don't know, you don't need a ramp to get into people's walls. You just need momentum. If you have really good momentum and the timing is really nice, then you can get in like this. I think it'll be really good if you guys practice this. Go with a friend, go into creative. Don't use a ramp to exploit in, but try using momentum like this to exploit in. Right? Obviously, I think Noahreyli understands he doesn't have HP advantage on this guy. This guy's a full HP target. He tries to use a surprise factor and then just aim duels him. Right? So maybe that's why he doesn't go full on his side, but I think it would be good to do that. Press the pre-fire there. Using wood early, and in general, you want to use your wood early as possible. If you use your wood earlier, you're gonna have hard mats and later zones when everyone else has wood. Right here, he switches to brick, right? He understands that this area, right, that he just dropped into is probably getting focused. He just got shot from height, right? And also someone's shooting this guy right here. So then he switches to brick, right? So you're just gonna use brick now. Because like there's a lot of action going around him. But when he's in an area, wow, that's really good. That's GG. Makes a wide left hand edit. Like a lot of people are like, oh, why not make a right hand again? You already have HP advantage, right? Also, if you make right hand peanut butter, this guy can take back the wall. Notice this edit. This guy has no option now to take back the wall. Do you see that? Makes the widest edit possible. Forces 50-50 because the 50-50 is justified through the HP advantage. Because Noahreyli's 200 HP. This guy is really low. And dead, right?
Get the fuck out!
Goes and gets the mats. Max refetch. He's 525 after that. It's really big. And now he's going for a blindside storm height or a retake, right? If you go in from behind them where they tarped in from, they won't see you coming. Unfortunately, this guy has really good awareness. Look at this edit. This is a really cool box technique that you can do if you have cone floor underneath them as you're ramping up, right? Like this. You can edit both and then full box and then just like leave them, like get out, right? And then take height. Like if you're trying to take height in competitive, this is a cool technique. This is something that I learned and I did once.
It's just walking on the street. Making my way downtown, crossing.
Noahreyli's just vibing right now, like he's doing really, really good. Okay, key elements that I'm noticing right now, like, so with the exception of one game, the most important thing Noahreyli's done to survive longer and do really well in each game is he goes really proactively for a kill around less than 20 builds. Does that make sense? You do not wait for something to come to you. You need to go for something yourself. A prime example is this right here. Right? You need to just go for something. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter because you're gonna die in 20 seconds anyways, right? You're not losing out on that much. That's why it's not that risky. Sometimes that involves jumping in people's boxes, right? Because if you're going for a wall, they can just run away and then you're screwed. Your fish that you're trying to catch is gone. But if you jump in a box, you're forcing them to fight you. And sometimes that can be better for the person with lower mats, right? Because he's like worse off. He wants something to happen.
On the glizzy.
He's spamming air to force the fight, get the lobby to die out.
He thinks he's saving his fucking box, is he though?
Full pieces this guy. Nice left hand. Like left hands are really hard to hit, right? Because you have less visible, like you can't see them as much. He still like carefully takes it. Look at his movement. Like look how far he crouches on the left.
Box, is he though?
Without falling, right? Crouches. Look how far he crouches on the line, right? If you're standing right here, a lot of people don't know you can actually like even hit this.
40 piece. What is happening? Dying in storm like a.
His movement's really, really nice this way.
No. Oh, I've been pieced up.
He's fully pieced. Unfortunately, instead of pickaxing out, he understands he's keeping aware of his HP is really low, so he's popped flopper first. hits the nuttiest shot of his career, and then moves on. And then he's working back height, right? Because he was previously height, right? If Noahreyli is previously height, and the second height guy is the guy he just killed, he knows height's free. You don't even have to look for it. Try to keep aware of height. Height is, in solo specifically, height is one of the most important positions that you can take. Since there's a ton of builds underneath him, he can't force that 1v1v1 third party. So then he's just gonna have to probably 1v1. You know, being good at 1v1s in this sort of situation with low mats is important as well. Hitting your shot, stuff like that. All that stuff matters. But I do think it's a supplement to game sense, right? You have to understand game sense happens to be one of the most important things, right? There's a reason why really slow mechanical players do really well, right? Obviously you have to have good aim. I think you can't get around that, but
of course
they definitely complement you. So he gets that final kill. Exploits in. Probably has HP advantage on this guy. I think that's why he's doing it.
No.
Wow. Really good aim. I want you guys to see this. It's so hard to see, but I see what Noahreyli's seeing, right? This guy has pencil out. He just pulled out pencil. You can barely see it. I know it's hard with screen share quality, but also with the video quality. But right here, you can barely see it because this like brick thing is like blocking it. That's why he pulls out shotgun and hits him really well. Noahreyli doesn't lose sight of zone. Look where Noahreyli is on minimap, right? Keep track of that. So then he understands that instead of going after that guy, he doesn't have the time to do it, so he just gets out. Unfortunately, right here, he makes a horrible mistake, which is the fact that he makes a box and then sits on the floor. This is very bad, right? You have to understand that floor is a layer as well. So actually, I know this guy's shooting his AR, but if you edit right after someone pumps the wall, they don't have a pump ready, right?
Yeah.
The only thing this guy can do is like ramp Noahreyli off. But look what Noahreyli does actually when he edits. He jumps, right? So that makes it really hard to ramp him, right? Because when you place a ramp in this situation, it'll phase Noahreyli, and that's why it's really important to jump there. Jumps in. That guy shot the ramp. He could have edited, but he tried to actually, but he's very low. I don't think it's a good idea. So he tries to get out. Unfortunately for him, I think he should have taken it. This is his best opportunity he's gonna get, right? You have to understand that if you walk out of this box right now, you are done. It is so hard to win, right? It's over. So that's why he should have just went for it, even though he's 1 HP. That's why it's not as simple and black and white as, oh, I'm higher HP, I'm gonna take it. You have to understand, what position am I in this game? You're not playing 1v1s, you're playing Battle Royale, right? Am I well off or am I not well off? If I'm not well off and I'm like 1 build left, I don't have much time left, sometimes it's better to take an unfavored fight than no fight at all. Good jump peek right here, hits him 50, tries to go in, full box, dead.
Always comes
right?
back. It always
pretty simple, I think,
back
in terms of game sense, right? Because he got HP advantage. In terms of mechanics, is obviously a little bit more complicated. Not everyone can do what he did. That's why Raider's piece is really good. HP advantage jumps in. That is a little close in terms of HP, but the reason why he closed it, right? He doesn't want to take a fight when he's this HP. Because this guy turned around, right? So he immediately resets because he's scared this guy's going to pump him. He's staying low ground. He only has wood. He types ahead. He needs a kill right now, right? Really important he gets a kill. 15 builds. So if he doesn't find an AR kill that's like close by, easy to pick up the mats, then he's going to go for something proactively. Goes for that. See this? Only option, right? Like you're probably not gonna get another kill, so he gets that really important impact. Actually, probably gets like, he has like 35 builds now, gets this kill, able to block himself off and pick up the mats as well. So just siphon mats, but siphon mats add up, right? Just because it's siphon mats doesn't mean you shouldn't pick it up. 15 builds is a lot of like a big deal. Looking for more impacts. Look out, what did he do? What did he prioritize before looking for kills? He's ahead of everyone. If there's someone in front of him, he will not go for these shots, ideally, right? He tries to go as ahead as possible and let these guys come into him. That's when he goes for it. I know it sounds simple, right? Like it's like simple as possible, like, oh, he stays ahead then goes for the kill. But it, like, how many times do I see people executing this? Not often, right? A lot of people make the mistake because they're just like autopiloting in the game or something. I don't really understand it, but holds the floor. Why? Because he's low, right? Wants to get up and heal. 200 HP. But then he understands that he took a really bad fight. Like, not necessarily a bad fight, but like it got him really hurt, right? 32 AR, and he's really full beamed right now, right? He's 27 HP, which is crazy. So when he holds this, he's super aware of his HP. He doesn't just like take the next fight right away and then gets up because he understands he has mats. This guy probably doesn't have mats at all. That guy's showing really good body language of not having mats. Dead. Nice. This guy also same thing. He's farming mats. He doesn't have mats. He's not building. Probably has 1 build now. The other guy. Noahreyli has 1 build, right? So instead of jumping out and placing a floor again, he just goes into storm. He has healthy whites. Going to storm sometimes is a really nice angle. Look how unaware this guy is. No clue. It's hard to see in storm, and it's really important that you use it as your like cover sometimes, right? If you have healthy whites, you can win a 1v1 easily that way, especially if the other guy doesn't have mats. Okay, let me just summarize it in terms of like simplicity. The first thing that you really want to focus on is fighting with HP advantage. Okay, do not take a fight if you don't have an HP advantage or some sort of surprise element. The other thing is that he understands when he needs to go for something because he's low mats. He only done one game when he's 0 builds, and that was just poor awareness, but he understands that he needs to go for something at 10 builds. I think a lot of people miss that, right? They don't understand that like you need to go for something proactively, and instead of thinking I should survive as long as I can, you should think of like, how can I win this game? What's the things that I need to do to win this game? And I think every end game should be that way. You should change your mentality completely that way, right? And I think it'll help a lot.